I know, I've been a bad YouTube user, okay? Haven't gone to my comment sections in ages, now it's piling up. You know, page upon page upon page of the damn things. Uh, and these are just like the comments at the end of the whole line of comments on all the various videos that have been commented upon. So I really should like go into it, do a nice big study on the whole thing, and see what I can come up with. But there's one comment here which I've noticed, and I'm going to talk about because talking about stuff is fun in a kind of like a talky about stuffy kind of way, if you get my drift. But all right, it says here, hey there. I've always getting this feeling that you walk on a fine line between know and believe. I think I would really like you to do a fact video. What can you say for fact? For example, when I communicate with spirit stroke demons, what have you, I'm really talking to, I'm trying to say, is that hard to understand, and have a thinking process from your videos. You have tons of knowledge, ideas, and maybe even beliefs, so I'm looking for some kind of this type of a video. Thanks. Well, sorry, old chap. Tough shit, really. There's, even when we're talking about the physical world, a lot of that is driven by belief, or even when we've got a hell of a lot of facts about something, the conclusions we develop as a result of our analysis of whatever it is we're looking at, whether it's like the contents of the oceans, what the moon is made of, atoms and electrons. These are all hypotheses or beliefs to a certain extent, and we regard these beliefs to be true temporarily whilst we're trying to explore things in any greater depth. The whole world is driven by belief, and that's not necessarily a good thing, but it's unfortunately the way that things are. Yes, there are some facts about the way that the brain works, and if you take out some parts of the brain, some things stop working quite as well as they should do. But that doesn't say anything about the strange experiences that we actually get. Some people say, well, it does, but on the other hand, that's based upon hypotheses. I mean, I watched a documentary about some of the miracles in the Old Testament. And there are people saying, well, now we know what this is all about because they provide an example of something which seems to fit the text. But because something seems to fit the text doesn't necessarily mean to say that's necessarily the solution or the answer. And basically, no, it doesn't. It means the person has approached a particular subject from a particular point of view, from a certain frame of reference and a certain frame of ideas, and have applied a strong belief that there was a volcano in a certain part of what is now Saudi Arabia type area, or around about that part of the world, and that's what the mountain of God was in the Old Testament, in the book of Exodus, which it might be the case, or indeed it might not be the case. Right? Just because some things or some ideas seem to fit don't necessarily mean to say that that is the fact of the situation, no matter what. And of course, everyone approaches stuff from their own different points of view. That's why it's important to look at different people's points of view. But I try and give this kind of like skeptical type interpretation, because unless I do that, people are just going to be in a state of having a new form of belief rather than challenging a particular point of view or belief. So I may have some beliefs, but I know that they're beliefs, and I know that beliefs aren't knowledge, or at least they are a kind of knowledge, or a form of knowledge within a certain combination of frames of reference and ideas. But we can't really say any further than that, all right? I mean, the things that you know as facts about the way that the nucleus of atoms and electrons work when you're in middle school and secondary school, during the first 5 years, or at least that's the way it was when I was in school, would be of a certain type. Then when you hit sixth form and everything becomes very different, because you're preparing for university, everything that you previously knew about electrons and the nucleus of atoms and all the rest of that is basically washed away, and there's a new, deeper understanding which has to develop. Okay, because you were previously running upon beliefs based upon a model of the world, the way that it was explained to you, and it turns out that that was basically wrong. Then, after you've left secondary school completely and you've actually gone to university, you then discover even more things about electrons and the nucleus of atoms or whatever. And then you start going into different theories of quantum physics and quantum mechanics and all that kind of stuff, and it all gets a bit kind of like, You know, wouldn't it be nicer if we were just like still back in middle school, because then things were a little simpler, because we at least thought we knew the way that the nucleus of atoms and electrons and all that kind of stuff actually works and operates. So essentially, even when you're dealing with physical things, alright, physical, known, natural science, things are pretty difficult. So how on earth are we supposed to, in the space of a short video, or indeed a series of videos, or indeed all of the friendly videos that I've been doing on this channel over however many years it's been, actually to be able to explain to you facts? Now, the only facts I can give is that there are certain forms of strange experience which seem to occur under some circumstances. What they mean, we still can't say. And if you think about it, if we're still struggling to understand the many, I don't know, 16 dimensions, quantum entangled universe that we're actually living in, how are we supposed to understand what a ghost experience actually is, or what an angel experience actually is, or what a prophetic dream actually is, all right? There's someone who's going to turn around and say, no, I know precisely what it is. It's an aberration of your brain waves, or someone else saying, no, it's a brain chemistry issue, or there's Dean Radin who'll come up with ideas of presentiments and explain that. You know, you can have experiences which contradicts, very substantially contradicts, what the natural scientists say. You can have those experiences. I have had them. And that's what caused me to, you know, be more spiritual, so to speak, than necessarily natural science orientated. But I still like and respect natural science, and I accept evolution, I accept the Big Bang, and I accept abiogenesis and all the rest of that kind of stuff. But chill. You know, let's just chill. There's things that we will never fully understand, especially when we're dealing with spiritualism, especially when we're dealing with the experience of, let's say, a Ouija board seance, when you do it well. Alright? We're stuck. We're screwed. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. It means that we got more to understand. Okay? And that's positive. Because it means we're going to carry on looking. And I like that.